Namaste. So welcome to this gentle vinyasa class where we're going to just focus on getting a bit of strain and stress out of the body and at the same time get our breath working in a nice deep way. So in these times of stress or any times of stress, I really want you to remember that your breath is so important. So coming to lie down on your back, we're going to take our rolled up bath towel or a beach towel, whatever, and we're going to place it on the mat behind you and then come to lie down with the mat underneath your shoulder blades. Now if this is too high for you, make it lower. If it doesn't feel good, as with anything in our practices, don't do it. So just go with what feels good. So for some of you, taking your shoulders overhead will feel good, for others it might not. So just see how you go. You can always pop another cushion behind you to rest your hands on. That might take pressure out of the shoulders. And then we're going to let the legs slide out and lengthen the whole body. So in this pose, we're looking at letting go of tension in the chest and stretching out, opening our lungs. So we want to be able to breathe deeply into the lower belly as well, but let your lungs expand. Side ribs, back of the ribs, front of the ribs. And we're really working on opening the heart center here. So as you take some long, slow breaths, focusing on a nice long exhale, you should be able to let that exhale, should find that a little bit easier at this point. The inhale, you've got to work it a little. And the exhale, just let yourself drape. So long, slow exhalations, letting it all go. It can feel a little bit challenging with a blanket or bolt or rolled up towel underneath your shoulder blades. Literally, your shoulder blades are on top of the prop you're using. So it can feel like we're a little bit exposed here. We're opening our heart center. So if that brings up any emotions, just see if you can ride with it. It's very easy in this day and age to find ourselves closing off from others. So we want to feel open-hearted as much as possible. And physically, if we open the heart, it will help us to feel more open-hearted in the mind and in the soul. So just take a few more deep breaths here. Try to experience the breath like waves. So we want to be able to go with the flow when things are changing so drastically around us. If we can go with the flow, life becomes a lot less challenging. So we surrender to that which we have no control over, and we try to go with the flow. We give our best efforts, but then we surrender to that which is not in our control. So just like the waves ebb and tide, rise and fall, just let your breath, your practice be nice and flowing. Think of letting go. Just before we move, I want you to consider 3 things that you're grateful for in your life right now. Whatever arises, doesn't have to be the most important thing in your world, but 3 things you can think of right now. And I want you to feel that gratitude in your whole body. Could be something just as simple as being able to take this brief 30 minutes to look after yourself, to be lucky enough to have this time, this space to do this. And then gently bending the knees, rolling off to one side to take that towel or prop out from underneath you. Just pop it to the side. Make sure you've got lots of room overhead. And then bringing your arms overhead, just reach around, make sure that you've got lots of room overhead. And then bring the hands back down. So we're just going to flow through some yoga bridge poses using the arms as well. So drive your heels into the mat, tuck through the tailbone. Inhale, lift the arms, reach up, press through the heels. And then exhale, we're just flowing down. So just like that idea of the wave, we're just rolling up and rolling down. So inhale, rolling up like a wave. And then long, slow exhale as you roll back down. Tucking the tailbone as you go. Press through the heels, roll back up. Try not to move your head too much, especially when your hips are high. Exhale, lower down. So if you have to turn to look, just make sure you do it once your pelvis is back down. We've got 2 more here. Inhale, peeling up, lift through the hips. Press those heels into the ground, squeeze the glutes, and exhale, peel back down. Make sure you're not squashing your neck in any way. Last one here, inhale, peeling up. And exhale, slowly rolling down. Good. And then we'll just take that support again, so whatever prop you've got. We're going to lift up the hips and place it underneath your sacrum, so the big flat bone at the base of the spine. You might like to go higher, so you could roll up more support or stay lower, depends how your hips feel. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest and extend the left leg away. So you should get a stretch through the straight leg, the front of the hip on the straight leg, but at the same time, we're trying to compress into the front of the digestive system on the right side, the ascending colon, helping to stimulate our digestive system. So when we're in times of stress, the digestive system doesn't really get the attention and love it needs from our nervous system. Stress tends to sort of send everything out to the muscles. So we might find that we have digestive upsets when we're stressed. So trying to compress a little and help this digestive process by squeezing into the right side here, the ascending colon. And our long, slow, deep breaths are allowing us to drop into that parasympathetic nervous system, dropping out of that fight or flight mode. Reach through the toes, both feet. And then slowly, slowly start to bring that left heel in. And changing sides. Release that leg very carefully and bring your left leg in. Squeeze it in and then take your right leg out. So nice big stretch through the front of that right hip. Squeeze the left thigh in towards you. So now we're squeezing, stimulating the descending colon. So we've got that clockwise sort of movement of the digestive system. Draw the shoulder blades down the back, point through the toes, and the straight leg, the heel might be hovering or it might be on the ground. It all depends how much height you've got or how tight those hips are feeling. See if you can relax the shoulders a little more and remember your deep, slow breaths. Feel a smile on your face. In the comfort of your own home, I recommend you put on a giant smile. Because if you fake it, it will actually, after 20 minutes, it's a scientific fact, after 20 minutes, your nervous system will shift if you've got a smile on your face. So you can do it when you're cleaning, when you're walking around, whatever you're doing. A nice smile on the face will shift your mood and change your nervous system. So that's one lovely thing about working from home. Just have a great big cheesy smile on your face. Last deep breath here. Really reach through those toes. And then slowly drag the straight leg in. Give yourself a nice big hug here. And then we'll take the height out from underneath this. Just move that out of the way. So we'll come into our ankle to knee. So releasing some tension out of the hips. Let's flex through the right foot. Open the knee out to the side. And then just check your hips are not hitching up on one side. So bring that right hand to the right knee and open it out. That might be plenty. If you're able to reach through and grab hold of that left leg, you can. If you feel like you need some support under your head, pop some support underneath your head. You can have a little bit of a cushion there, whatever you've got handy, and that might make it even nicer. If the left foot is off the ground, you might draw circles with the toes. So not the shin, but just the foot. And allow that ankle to release a little. Keep the hips nice and level. Switch the directions of the circles that you're doing. Relax through the neck and shoulders. Let that right knee open outwards. Make sure the knee feels safe. You're not trying to create any tension there. And then keep the legs the way they are. Release the hands. Pop the elbows out to the side. If you've got loads of room, you could take the whole arms out. Pop your left foot on the ground. Now, we're going to lift the hips up, move them to the right edge of your mat, and then drop them down. Now your knees are going to drop away. They're going to drop to the opposite side. So if you're on the same leg as me, then your right leg is taking both knees over to your left side. And then looking over your right shoulder and relaxing here. Your left hand might come over and hold the knee to help it. And taking your breaths deeply into your lower back so you can feel a nice release there. So we're not going for extreme range, we're just going for a nice release. Let your breath be smooth. Feel that smile on your face. Two more long, slow breaths. Remember to unhook the foot if you find it's too intense. So you can always just unhook the foot, do a gentle twist or a one-legged twist. You can also have that prop underneath the knee if you need to. Good, we'll come back to center. So just bring yourself back into the middle of your mat because you should be off the right edge of your mat right now. And then hug the knees into the chest. Bringing your left leg into ankle to knee. Open that knee out to the side with your left hand. That might be plenty for you. Flex the foot. And then reach through and grab hold of the thigh or the shin or wherever you can reach, or just stay where you are. And if that right foot is off the ground, you can draw some circles with those toes, but keep that left foot flexed. Keep the feeling of both hips being level, so you're not hitching one side more than the other. Smile on your dial, and deep breaths. Relax those shoulder blades down the back. And focus your awareness on that left hip. So you're really trying to feel that left hip open outwards. Listen to your Ujjayi breath, that ocean sound on the back of the throat. One more breath here. And then release the arms. Bring the elbows or the arms out wide. Lift your hips off the mat. And then move your hips over to your left side. Drop them down. And then the foot stays hooked, or you can unhook it if you need to, but both legs are going to drop over to your right side. And just be gentle there, careful with your lower back. Make sure it feels good. Right hand might hold the knee, and you might look over your left shoulder. If that's too much though, just look straight up to the ceiling. Or you could be practicing this outside. You could be doing this with your laptop outside in the sunshine or under the stars even. So looking up at whatever you've got to look up at. Take your mind's eye into your lower back, into that hip. And feel some distance as if you're creating more space between the top hip and the left shoulder. one last deep breath there. And then unhook the foot, take the foot back, bring the feet as wide as your mat. So feet will open out, and then your knees are going to windscreen wiper from side to side. You can decide how far over that top hip goes. Loosening up. Letting the lower back and the hips relax. And then rolling over onto your right side if that's available. And coming up and over onto your hands and knees. And then we're going to take the knees nice and wide and bring the big toes back behind us. Reaching back into our child's pose. As you reach the fingertips forwards, think about drawing those sit bones back behind you. You might not be down this low as me, you might be up a little high, you might be propped up on your elbows, that's fine. But do think about sending the sit bones out behind you. You might be looking after your knees and have to come up higher, that's fine too. Just find what's comfortable for you. You can pop a blanket underneath your forehead or a towel. Just take the last 3 breaths here, reaching forwards with the fingers, reaching back with the sit bones. Draw the shoulder blades down the back so you're not crouching your shoulders around your ears. And as you exhale, hollow the belly underneath you. Lovely, one more deep breath here. And then we're just going to move the torso from side to side. Kind of looks like a bit of a hippie dancing. But I just want you to move your rib cage from thigh to thigh, from side to side. So again, kind of like waves, that idea of flowing. We want to incorporate the idea of going with the flow into our practice and into our life. Good. And then come back to center. Walk the hands up a little, bring yourself up onto your hands and knees. So coming into our cat curls, you can inhale, lift the chest, lift the tail, look up. Oh, and exhale, tuck under, draw the chin to the chest. Did you find any tightness in your neck then? I did. Inhale, lift up. So you might find you just move a little bit more each time. Exhale, chin to chest, tucking under, hollow the belly. Inhale, lift the tail, lift the heart center. And exhale, tucking underneath you. Good, and then come back to center. Take the knees back and the hands forward. You might have a blanket or a fold up your mat underneath you. Rocking forwards and backwards, spreading your fingers. We'll just start to get a bit of movement through the body now, starting to engage and awaken through the core. And we'll just warm up the hips a little more. Send the hips off the right edge of the mat and back, left edge and forward. So you're painting a circle on your mat. It's an exhale on the way back and an inhale on the way forwards. And then changing the direction of your circles, so coming around and back the other way. Good. Try to think of doing these every day if you can. Simple things that we can try and incorporate into our day as often as we can to bring ease into the parts of the body that tend to hold tension, like those hips. All right, let's come back onto our hands and knees. Take your right leg behind you and your left leg out. Flex the foot. Exhale to lower back down. Inhale, take out the right arm, left leg. And exhaling to lower back down. Inhale, opposite arm to leg. Start to engage through the belly. Exhale to lower. One more. Inhale, extend. And exhale to lower down. And then walk your hands back towards your feet and coming into a forward bend. As you inhale, come to flat back. Lengthen the spine. And exhale back to your forward bend. Press through the feet. Raise the arms. Big breath in. And exhale, bring the palms into your center. So we'll just go through a little bit of a flowing series. Raise the arms up, big breath in. Exhale, folding forwards. Walk your hands out into plank. Maybe knees are on the ground or without the knees. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, peel up through cobra. Think of flowing with your breath. Exhale, press up and back out and walk downward facing dog. This time we'll make our way to the front of the mat. And inhale into flat back. Exhaling into your forward bend, hollowing the belly. Lift up, put some bend through those knees as you raise up, and then flow straight back down again. Exhale into your forward bend. Inhale to look out in front. Exhale, step back to plank or knees as you lower down chaturanga. Inhale, peel up, taking the body through its range of motion, up and back, downward facing dog. Raising the right leg up into the air, or you could be on your hands and knees. Knee to chest, drop the back knee. Inhale, raise up into Anjaneyasana. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Raising the left leg, inhale. Knee to chest, step it through. Remember, be on hands and knees if you like. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, step back, downward facing dog, or hands and knees. So just choose whichever's better for you. We're going to raise the right leg up into the air again. Big breath in. This time, knee to chest, come up into a high lunge. Raise the arms. And then exhale, open the arms out into warrior two. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Reverse your warrior, big breath in. And then straighten through the arms and the legs. Bring the hands to the hips. Side bend, Trikonasana, without the arms. Reverse your triangle, right arm back, right arm up, left arm back. And then bend through the front knee again. Elbow towards thigh or hand to ground. Nice big circle with that arm, left arm. We'll do one more circle. Try not to lean into that elbow. And then we're going to reverse that warrior. Inhale. And exhale back to downward facing dog or your hands and knees. Raising the left leg, inhale. Knee to chest, step it through. Come up into your high lunge. Raise the arms up. And then opening out into your warrior two. Reverse your warrior, inhale. So a semi-triangle pose here. We'll bring the hands to the hips as we reach forward. Open out, Trikonasana without the arms. Reverse your triangle, left arm goes up, so the front one goes up, reverse. And then exhale, elbow to thigh, hovering. Right arm comes down, up, nice big circles. You could use your elbow, just the elbow, if you're looking after your shoulder there. Reverse your warrior, inhale. And exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet and exhale into your forward bend. Inhale into flat back and exhale forward bend again. Press through the feet, bend the knees, raise up, inhale and exhale, bring the palms together. Good. And then just taking your legs out nice and wide. Turn the feet out at 45 degrees. Raise the arms up, take a deep breath in and exhale, bend the elbows, take the elbows wide. Good. We're going to bring the arms to come into a nice big side bend. So one arm underneath and the other one over the top. Inhale back to center. Exhale over. Flowing with the breath. Inhale, goddess pose. Exhale, side reach. Inhale up. You could stand up taller if you want to take a little bit of the intensity out of the legs. This is your practice. Make it work for you. Last one each side. Good. And then staying in our goddess pose, we're going to bring the hands to the inner thighs. We're going to drop one shoulder down and look up and over the other shoulder. And then like a wave, I want you to roll your way up. And then exhale, drop the other shoulder. Roll your way up, inhale. Exhale, one shoulder down, one shoulder up. Inhale. And exhale. Last one each side. Inhale, roll up. And exhale, coming back down. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms out wide. Big step all the way to the front of your mat. Palms together. Inhale, raise the arms up. Lots of bend in your knees. Make it nice and easy as you fold forwards. Inhale, look out in front. And exhale, step back to your plank, lower down. Inhale into cobra. We're going to do 3 cobras. Peel up through the chest. Now remember, every time you do this, you don't want your elbow or shoulders up here. Pull the shoulders back. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, peel up into cobra. And exhale, lower down. Last one. Try to use the hands a little less. Let the back of the body do the work. And exhale, release there. Bring your hands either by the side of the chest and press your way up. We're going to grab that bolster we were making before. So you might have 2 beach towels and a bath towel or something similar, whatever you've got will do. We're going to roll them up and we're going to bring them out in front of us. Good. So turning sideways, you're sitting side saddle. You're going to turn towards the bolster and walk your hands out. And then just drop one elbow down, rest on one side or the other. You might like to continue the pillow so that you can rest your head as well. So make sure you're not hanging into the neck. I like to turn away from my knees, but that's quite strong through the twist, so just see if that's okay for you. And so this is a nice resting pose here. So make it restful. Make any adjustments that you need to make it restful so you can slow down the breath. You might even be able to hear your heartbeat. You might be able to sense it, feel it. And starting to observe the breath, just slowing down. Let the shoulder blades drift down the back. There's no effort there. Close the eyes. So as we start to wind down towards the end of this very brief session, if there's any of these poses that you enjoyed, do them again if you've got a bit more time. Otherwise, when you're ready, bring the hands back and then just changing sides. So you can leave your props where they are and just turn yourself to the other side. Sitting side saddle with your legs, turn towards your bolster, pillows, whatever you've got, and then lengthen your way over into Supta Bharadvajasana. And then just let yourself be held. Feel nurtured by the support underneath you so that your lower back can relax, so that a stretch can be allowed into the body. A softness, a release, a surrender, and a smile. Never underestimate the power of a smile, both for you and for anyone you may encounter. I think it's probably one of the most important things we can do is to remember to smile more often, to soften through the face, and to try and cultivate gratitude in our beings. All will be well. Surrendering that which is not in our control. So again, if you've got a little more time, stay here for longer. As you come up nice and slowly. And then you might choose to take your legs up into the air. You might have a wall nearby that you can use. So I'm going to use my bolster as a bit of a prop to put my pelvis on. First option is just to lie there with your knees bent, and that's a beautiful supported bridge pose. Very relaxing for the heart, for the nervous system, and for the lower back. And then you might even add the legs up in the air if you don't have a wall nearby, or wall space. Just double check that your sacrum feels supported by that bolster. And then relax through the jaw, relax through the mouth. Come back to that sense of a smile. And Imagine your legs are like a waterfall, cascading down. Can you feel the muscles relax and soften? Allow there to be ease in the hip joints, softness in the shoulders. And then feel free to stay there a lot longer. Another great thing to practice at night or when you're a bit depleted of energy. Otherwise, bend the knees, pop the feet on the ground, slide the bolster underneath your legs or just pop it out of the way and come down into your Shavasana. Inhaling 3 times in through the nose and out through the mouth. Make whatever crazy sound you want. One more. Rest with a smile on your dial. I really encourage you to stay with that as long as you can. So I'll see you again very soon in this space. Well done. Take care, people. Lots of love from me to you. Namaste.